to Prandhara Prem, your go-to channel for tantra and sex ed. Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome. I'm so excited to be talking about 15. Yes, you heard right. I did not stutter. 15 types of orgasms. And why am I talking about all of these different orgasms today? Because yes, it is National Orgasm Day. So make sure you go out and get at least one of these types of orgasms. So, my channel is all about helping people to become more comfortable talking about sexuality, talking about sex and just getting rid of the taboo. So today for National Orgasm Day, I'm going to be telling you about the 15 types of orgasms. Yes. And I'm so excited to be talking about orgasms, one of my favorite subjects. If you have not watched my live, be sure to watch my live, Orgasms. It's really great with tons of information. So let's get to it. The first type of orgasm, very common. Most people know about these. It's called clitoral orgasm. So yes, the first type is clitoral orgasm. And that's the easiest, honestly, that's the easiest for women to have. Men can't have that, obviously, because men don't have a clit. But for women, our clitoris has about 8,000 nerve endings. Check out my video on the clitoris and the penis and the differences between those two things and what the clitoris is all about. So you can check out that video. And then so going back, the clitoris its sole purpose is for pleasure, right? So when it's stimulated via oral sex, via the hands or a vibrator, you're gonna be singing off the chain, off the roof. Really great. Second type of orgasm, G-spot orgasm. Men, you can't have all of these. You can't have 15 orgasms. I'm so sorry. Most of these are for women. But men, I'll do another video for you guys later because it's just, you don't have this many 15. So this is for women, 15. But men, watch this video because it's important so you can learn, so you can be able to aspire to help your partner with these. So G-spot orgasm, number 2. So the G-spot is the second easiest. I'm not going to say the second easiest. So the G-spot is another type of orgasm that women can have. The G-spot, which I like to call the goddess spot, is the entrance of the vagina up at the top. So between the vagina and the cervix, there's a G-spot. And if you just press on it and you do that come to motion, you can stimulate that and that can cause a G-spot orgasm. And it's great. That can also cause women to squirt. Check out my videos. I have videos on how to have a G-spot orgasm or how to give a G-spot orgasm. So that'll go more into detail. So third is the anal orgasm. Yes, anal orgasm. The anus also have tons of nerve endings. So this, men, you're lucky if you're watching. This is a orgasm that both men and women can have. The anal orgasm. Okay, I'm going to throw one more out there for the men. Prostate, because this is not on the list, but for the men, you can have a prostate orgasm when you're doing the anal massage or anal sex. Then you can put the pressure on the prostate, just like if you're doing a G-spot, and do that come hither motion and have a wonderful singing orgasm from there. So this is a bonus for the men that's watching. Then fourth orgasm for women, cervical orgasm. Now this is the hardest, one of the hardest to do, but women, you can have this. And I'm going to say this feels even so much better than the clitoral because it's deep, it's penetrating, it's awesome. The way that most women can have this is when they're on top. So a lot of times women, you have to be on top, you have to be in control, and that's what helps you to get the cervical orgasm. Now, this is the only orgasm that size matters because you have to reach the deep, deep, deep part of the vaginal canal where the cervix is. So unfortunately, if your penis is small, not gonna reach it. It's gonna be a little bit harder to do. But that's okay, because even if your penis is small, there's other types of orgasms. There's 14 others that your woman can have that will be satisfying, that will be mind-blowing, that will be great. So no worries about that. But again, with the cervical orgasm, woman has to be on top, because then she can do the movement, she can feel it, and she can get that spot. And again, it has to be small, because if your penis is small, you know, it's like you're not gonna touch it. So it has to be bigger to get in there. All right, so the fifth is nipple orgasm. Yes, so women can have nipple orgasms, because the nipple, there's a meridian that goes in Chinese medicine that goes from the nipples to the vagina, from the nipples to the mouth. So it creates a diamond. Isn't our body grand? Our body is just amazing with all the amounts of pleasure that we can have. Who says that we're not pleasure beings, that we're not sexual beings, that we're not sensual beings? It's a damn lie. Our body is created for pleasure. So yes, we can have nipple orgasms from kissing, caressing, biting, nipple clamps. So those are different ways to have nipple orgasms. So I'm going to go on to number 6, but if you have not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're liking this so far, hit that like, and then share this. Share this, because we need to keep talking about orgasms. We need to talk about sexuality. Okay, the 6th type of orgasm. This, men and women can have this, okay? A crygasm. Yes, you can have an orgasm from crying. So next time you're sad, get into it. You know, one of the things that I love to do, I love to listen to music that's going to get me even sadder, so I can do a really, really good cry. Like I would listen to Sade. I love Sade, but her music is just so sad sometimes, some of the songs. And I would just cry and cry and cry and cry. And next thing you know, it's like this big release, and then pleasure comes, and then orgasm comes. So it's great. It's amazing. Number 7, foodgasms. So who likes to eat really good food? I'm a foodie and I love it. I remember the first time I heard a friend say that she had an orgasm eating food. I was like, I need to aspire to that, because I love to eat and I love to eat good food. But why hasn't that happened to me yet? And so, you know, with time, not putting pressure, really opening up my senses and connecting more and more to me and being able to really just eat and enjoy, I got to the point where I can have a foodgasm. And boy, is it so good. It's so good. Number 8. Coregasm. Coregasm, yes, that's a type of orgasm, and that's from exercising. So it's an exercise orgasm. You ever run or exercise and you get in that runner's high? Well, yeah, you can get in the runner's high. You can also have an orgasm. So, you know, those hormones are going. That energy is moving up. It's being pumped. So when you have a really, really tough workout, you can get to the point of having an orgasm. Number 9, sleepgasm. Yes, you can have orgasms in your sleep. You ever heard of a wet dream? Well, yes, wet dreams exist, and so does sleepgasms. I remember the first time this happened to me. I was sleeping and I started having a dream about sex, and then I woke up feeling my vagina tingling. So this first time it wasn't a full-blown orgasm, but I could feel my vagina tingling, and I wake up and I'm like, ooh, that feels good. And then it happened again where I actually had an orgasm, and it woke me up like out of my sleep in a full-blown orgasm, and that was good. So a lot of these things I'm talking about experiencing that I've felt, that I've experienced. So I know these things are possible, and I have heard about other people, and I've done research. So these are definitely things that are possible. And number 10, multiple orgasm. Who loves multiple orgasms? I do. So what that is just when your body reaches, you have an orgasm and you reach that plateau, but you keep on going with the stimulation, with the arousal, and then you begin to have multiple layers and layers and layers of orgasms. And it can be so intense, it can get to the point where you go into a trance-like state. Or I've had people, because I do tantric massage, and in a tantric massage session, I've had people kind of really go beyond that trance-like state, and their entire body is numb and their face kind of gets stiff and things like that. So things like that can happen. That's normal. I've even had someone go into a multi-orgasmic state where they had a postcoital amnesia. So that can happen as well, but it's very, very rare, but can happen. And so what happens is, you get into that state of mind where you're just in bliss, you forget everything, you're at a divine union, you reach that spiritual connection and you forget everything. So after I gave this tantric massage, she came back and she didn't remember her name. She didn't remember many, many different things. Obviously, it all came back. It's nothing permanent. It's nothing that lasts too long, but it is something that can happen as part of that intense orgasmic state. Number 11, blended orgasm. So yes, you can have a blended orgasm. Men, you can have the multiple orgasm and blended orgasm as well. Now, there's some research that says men can't have multiple orgasms, but that's a flat out lie. Men can't have multiple orgasms. I have given it to men with tantric massage. And so what happens is a lot of times as well with men, when you're training your body, then, and especially if you do seminal retention, or if you train your body to have orgasms separate from ejaculation, you can get to that point of having multiple orgasms, and then you can ejaculate if you choose to. A lot of men feel like they've had so much pleasure, they don't necessarily need to ejaculate because you have so much pleasure. And ejaculation really just kind of drains the energy, makes you really tired, but you can have multiple orgasms and have tons of energy and keep going and keep going and keep going. So it's great. And then the blended orgasm, number 11, that's a mixture of the different orgasms at once. So think about this, having a nipple, clitoris, and anal orgasm at the same time, or nipple, cervical, and anal at the same time. Great, it's awesome. So you can have different orgasms at the same time if they're all being stimulated. So you can be stimulating your nipples while your partner is doing oral sex on you. Maybe you have butt plugs in, or you have a dildo in. Use your imagination. You just do so many different things at the same time and achieve a blended orgasm. And oh my God, if you can handle that, it is worth it. It is great, but it's intense. And sometimes women can't handle it, or sometimes men can't either. But when you train your body, you get to that point where you really can handle it, and it's so good. And number 12, squirting orgasm. Yes, it is possible. So squirting orgasm is when the female ejaculation comes out. So she gets into a very nice orgasmic state and she squirts. For more information on that, go back and check out my how to squirt video. That's really good. And so women can squirt from doing oral sex. Yes, her doing oral sex on the man. And again, so remember I talked about that meridian that goes through the throat to the nipples to the vagina. So you have that meridian there. Then also there's a throat, a vocal cord, your throat and vagina connection, a vulva connection. I have a video that talks about that too. So yes, it makes sense when you're watching those porns and you see a woman deep throating and then she squirts. It's very possible. So that really can happen. Again, because of that connection. So squirting can also happen from G-spot orgasm or clitoral orgasm. Those both can also cause the squirting orgasm. Number 13, the A-spot orgasm. So the A-spot is the anterior fornix. And so that is a spot that exists. So again, looking in the vagina, as I showed you before, you have the G-spot. When you go a little bit deeper is the A-spot. Then the cervix all the way at the top. But right here is the A-spot. So being able to stimulate that with your hands or with the penis or with a dildo, you can get a nice A-spot orgasm, and that's really, really, really good. 14, U-spot orgasm. Yes, there's a U-spot orgasm. So the U-spot orgasm It's just around the urethra. Around the urethra, there's erectile tissue that's very, very, very sensitive. And you can have stimulating that with your tongue or with your fingers can cause another orgasm there. So that's the U-spot orgasm. And as we're talking about that in the urethra, many people have urinary orgasm. So that can even be another one added that's not on here and say 16, but I do kind of include that in the U-spot because it's connected to the urethra. Last but not least, number 15, the posterior fornix orgasm. So yes, that does exist. And then look at how, again, I just have to say how amazing our body is. So the posterior fornix is, so when you get to the cervix, under the cervix, behind that cervix, there's a posterior area right here, just behind the cervix. And if you can get that spot, if you can reach that spot, so much joy. And you can have so much pleasure there and a huge orgasm. But again, the penis has to be big. Hands is usually hard to kind of reach back in there, but it can happen, especially depends on how long the fingers are. People, listen, if you're going to be doing any of this with your hands, make sure that your nails are nice and clean and they're short. Don't have long nails like me. When I'm doing tantric massage, I do cut my nails down. But we've been in a pandemic, this apocalypse, so I haven't been able to do tantric massage. So I'm allowing my nails to grow. This is like the longest my nails have been. Look at that. Normally they're also short because I do, G-spot massage. I do P-spot massage for men, so I have to keep them down. But again, make sure your nails are nice and trimmed. Make sure that they're clean, that they're not dirty, because then you can give your partner a nasty infection and she's not going to want that. So there you have it, my 15 orgasms. I really want to hear from you. If there's another type of orgasm that you've experienced that I haven't mentioned, because maybe there's more, so definitely tell me, definitely share. If you've experienced any of these orgasms, like the A spot, the U spot, the posterior fornix, blended orgasm, share. I want to hear about your stories. I want to hear about what you've experienced, and give this a thumbs up. If you enjoyed this, if you learned something from it, give it a thumbs up. Share this with someone that could also benefit from this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notifications bell so that you can receive messages for my upcoming videos. And I will talk to you soon. Enjoy National Orgasm Day today and get your orgasm. Bye.